Welcome to this week's episode of the Talking Shop podcast. I am Josh from Grand Slam Cards. Jacob's driving us here from It's Cobb over on the gram. And then we got Michael here, Medium Rare Cards over on the gram. Today's episode sponsored by Panda Express, where good fortune smiles is what the bag says. So thank you to those guys for sponsoring by selling me lunch today. And we're here to talk some shop with you. What's up, boys?
Not much. What's your standard order over at the Panda Express?
I'm in love right now with the sesame chicken because it comes with a little bit of the vegetables. The chicken's good. That's my go-to.
How about you, Jacob?
Never been. We don't have that around these parts.
You call yourself an American.
Wait a minute. You don't have a food line?
You call
there?
yourself Chinese.
Do you have a food line?
It shut down about 10 years ago.
Oh, that explains it. I mean, if you want to find a Chinese restaurant, look for the food line.
No, well, there's one in town, but you don't go there.
Ooh.
Don't like dog.
Oh my God. Speaking of dogs, did you I'm trying to segue out of that. Did you, and we were talking about it in the pregame, did you catch the home run derby?
I am. This is the first year in probably 5 or 6 years I missed it. I know who won, of course, and I'm not surprised, but I'm bummed. I'm probably going to go back and watch a replay of it, but
so
I'll learn a lot this episode.
Yeah, everybody calls him, what's the big dumper is his nickname. I call him American League Pete Alonso. That's what I call him. So
left-handed Pete Alonso, or is he
he's a switch hitter.
Yeah.
So first catcher to ever win it. It'll be interesting, Josh. This happens around the slam dunk contest. This happens. I can't think of anything in football. Maybe the MVP. It'll be interesting to see if anybody's walking in the shop looking for Cal Raleigh rookies or autos.
So teaser, we have a case of, I might be wrong, 2020 or 2019 Bowman Chrome HTA on the way, and that has Cal Raleigh's first Bowman Chrome autos. And it's not super expensive, probably because the first Bowmans in that class were weak maybe, but I want to say it's like $2.99 a box or something like that.
Well, hold on. Wait a minute. This is completely random. Was it like, oh, sure, I'll order that?
No, distributor hit us up and was like, hey, we've got this product, and guess what? Cal Raleigh has first Bowman autos. Are you interested? And I'm like, sure. So
all right.
Distributors can do a good job of selling you on a product sometimes that you wouldn't normally buy. The same way we do it to customers, we let them know what potentially could be in a certain box, and all of a sudden it gets more interesting.
Like you had a chance of getting that Paul Skeens card in the shop.
Out of Chrome updated.
Out of Chrome updated. You can run a case break and call it the big dumper break. See if you'll get any takers. No,
it'll bring new meaning to flush that turd.
Holy cow.
Speaking of breaks, we got 2 over on the break page, FYI.
Okay.
One is that memorabilia, football memorabilia break. It's got a couple spots left. And then another one that I just posted, it's Absolute Megas and Donruss Megas. So it's a cheap $20 a spot. We're going to chase some downtowns and kabooms. Those boxes are from a case that those case hits have not been hit yet. So, yeah. So the big dumper is not in break 1341, but we need to get that turd flushed. It's been there for a little bit, folks. It's
we do. Speaking of flushing, just all segues now, and this one won't make any sense.
We're going to keep doing that.
I know we just rolled right over the rundown. Jacob, give us the rundown.
All right. So in today's episode, We're going to be talking about eBay's last-minute bidding change. I think they implemented within the last week. Then after that, we're going to talk about Bobby Witt Jr. and Jac Caglianone's. They are having a blast with their inscriptions. I sent a bunch of those to the chat, proving once again the pen is mightier when you've got a Chrome Auto. Then in hobby news, Dana White officially joins the hobby with a PSA 10 Dream Team. A UFC 1-of-1 sells for over $100,000, and Topps delivers some true feel-good content, surprising Wish kids with 1-of-1s and a trip to the MLB All-Star Game. We're also going to dive into cards versus stocks and who actually won this past year, the Bo Nix slab gap, and the only SGC Gold Label MJ rookie headed to auction. Plus, grading at Best Buy now, wild WWE inscriptions with Kevin Owens, and a net shredded soccer card that somehow sold for $86,000. We got a lot to get into.
We do. Let's jump into this eBay story. And just a photo. It's not a link to the story. And I just wanted to talk about this. Josh, you have a pretty significant eBay presence as a shop. What do you think of this? You have this photo, Jacob?
This is more on the buying end, right?
It is.
So
it is.
As a shop, we don't really buy on eBay unless it's just personal cards.
Well, it may affect some of the things that you. So I'm guessing you don't have anything. You don't run auctions then.
We have in the past. It's usually those low end cards. We just start them at $1 and let it run. And sometimes they sell at $1 and sometimes they go up a little bit more, but we don't typically run any big cards on auction.
Yeah. And so if you guys haven't missed it, Jacob, do you have the photo? Do you need it in the chat?
I do not, but it says eBay is testing extended auctions with bid when bid is placed in final 2 minutes. A little something.
Kind of like is the idea. I kind of got like you place a bid at the last minute, then it kind of extends the clock. And then if you put a bid and then it extends the clock. So
just like Whatnot.
It's
so
smart. I hate it, but it's
when
really
smart. When I was buying more on eBay, I used a sniping software. And so if it sensed that somebody was had put in a higher bid than mine, it would snipe it at the very last moment. And I loved it because I could just say, this is my max bid. If somebody and it would put it in at the very last second. Now, I don't know if this makes this, if it resets it. So some of that software, some of those tools may be, I don't know.
Well, define extending. Does it extend it like another 30 seconds so that a new sniper can snipe, or is it going to
pretty much,
or another 2 minutes?
Yeah,
I know with Whatnot, it extends it 10 seconds every time there's a bid placed.
Yeah. I mean,
Whatnot's a little bit of a different animal though, because it's kind of this fast paced.
Right.
They want to keep it moving fast. So it wouldn't surprise me if it's 2 minutes with eBay and then another bid comes in, it'll extend 2 more minutes. And then don't know, don't care. But
I mean, Josh, is this going to, would this move the needle on some of your listings to say, okay, let's experiment a little bit and push you to auction it more, or you're just not built that way?
Yeah, I mean, I think the cards we buy and the way we sell, just not built that way. We do consignment. So if a customer, of course, wants their card to run on auction, that's always an idea, and it may help that.
Right.
And the auction stuff we run, it's so low priced that you don't have big boys fighting over it and trying to snipe a 99-cent card for $1 at the end.
No, I get it.
This is built for those bigger cards, but it's smart on eBay's part, and it's probably because think about how many times you were sniped at the end and you're like, man, I would have gone higher. I should have put in a little bit higher of a max bid. By extending it, it lets those guys fight it out a little bit longer. And over the course of all auctions site-wide for the year, the amount of money that they'll bump up that they wouldn't have made by doing this is probably significant.
I think so too.
Great for the seller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sucks for the snipers, but I think that's the point. They want to do away with that last minute. Because what you do is you keep your eye on something. You're like, man, no one's paying attention to this. You go in there and you snipe it and you get a steal of a deal on it. But the seller thinks, well, dang, I thought it would sell for a little more. And eBay, of course, wants it to sell for as high as it can because they get a percentage. So it's a win for everybody except for the person that gets out sniped. But
except for the sniping software.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I'm curious, so leave it in the comments, guys. If this is going to change the way you approach listing stuff on eBay, does it move the needle? Are you guys excited about this? I'm interested to see what people say about this.
Well, Michael, you put a good stat about it in the chat. It says in 2023, 43% of sports card auctions on eBay were won in the final 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Basically by sniping.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so that 15 seconds gets extended and extended. I just don't know. eBay's done it differently than these auction houses or whatnot. We'll see. We'll see if people sort of get the ick from that because they're just that used to it. I mean, change is hard, but we'll see.
All right. So while eBay is trying to engineer fairness, 2 MLB stars just reminded us why we're really here. Cards that crack a smile and make collecting fun again. This is something we've talked about in previous weeks about nice inscriptions. And this is just a picture full of them.
Can I play devil's advocate? Because I'm going to agree with when I saw this post, I read some of the comments, or the poster made a comment on it. And I don't know, he felt this really cheapens the card and muddies it up. I think I'm not a fan. I'm just going to say I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of a nice, clever inscription that's card or sport related. I'm not a fan of this. I'm just going to say it.
So for somebody who's just listening and can't see and they're not catching it, Jacob, read some of these sort of back and forths on these cards, and it looks like this is out of Bowman. It's the upcoming Bowman Chrome product.
Yeah. It's just out of 5 and the 1 of 1s. It seems to be
right.
Yeah, and preface it if you're just listening. This card is a dual auto of Caglianone and Bobby Witt. So and they're on card. So at some point, both these players have to have the card in their hands and sign it. Maybe not together at the same time, maybe, but I think one signs it and then the other one ends up with the card. So they basically inscribed messages back and forth to each other on the card. And Jacob can read some if you want, but they just basically carry on a conversation.
One guy said, "You have way better handwriting than me." The one below him said, "Can't believe they put me on a card with you." One says, "Looking good, Jack. Funny seeing you here." What else is there? "Can you show me your workout plan?" Stuff like that.
It's a back and forth. And Josh, while I don't totally agree with you, I can see why you would feel that way. Is it because it's just a little too scripted? No pun intended.
I think it just muddies it up with all the writing on it. And a lot of the times these guys don't have nice handwriting. So it's just, I don't know, it takes a beautiful looking card and it just fills it up with a bunch of scribble all over it. I would rather have a signature. And if you got to put some sort of, the saying, the famous saying the Royals say when they hit a home run, like if you were a Cubs fan and you just put "holy cow" or something like that. Or I do like my first auto I signed, right, or sell me this card. And I like those because it's related to the card, the player, the autograph, whatever. But yeah, I don't like this. Show me your workout plan. And I don't like that crap. And
so,
I like those.
Real quick, Anthony's chiming in, shocked that Michael uses a shady sniping software. This is in the past. I'm trying to quit, man. Something I would expect from Josh, not my guy Michael, is instead, I'm reformed. I'm like, it's something that I've gotten out of my system. So,
oh, and I totally use it. I just am not bragging to the world on the internet that I use it, Anthony. And I would gladly use it to snipe cards from you. any day of the week.
So just to put a pin in this one, I think that this was now if there's content around this and they showed that they're at a table and it was not Bobby Witt's signs the top of it on 6 of these and then mails it off to Jack and he signs the bottom of it. If they're at a table and they're laughing and they're sort of thinking about this and there's a little more context and it is a little more organic, then I don't have a problem with it. But if it's Bobby did his and then 3 weeks later Jack did his and there's no interaction and there's nothing organic about it, then I would agree with you, Josh.
But think of it this way. Less is more. And when all these cards start getting filled up with these stupid sayings and inscriptions, then inscription autos mean less. And inscription autos are typically kind of like we'll have a customer hit a card in the shop that's autographed and, oh, this one's got an inscription. It's a big deal because they took the extra time. But yeah, I mean, I hate to agree with Anthony. 1 out of 10 with an inscription would be okay as a chase, but not all of them. I'm even further, like 1 out of 100. And I'm okay with it not being the 101 even. Maybe do it something on your jersey number or do something special. But I like a little inscription. Brady did it with, Brady kind of made that really cool with the big one he did. But Andrew says it's stupid, like Benny Montgomery doing his nonsense or Wemby drawing pictures. Sign your bleeped out auto. I mean, I'm with y'all. I'm the same way. Nothing wrong with an inscription or something funny every now and again, but less is more. Less is more. And I feel like the comments on that post kind of sentimented that. And I bet you they may try to curb this a little bit in the future. Bet you.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it doesn't hurt that Bobby Witt, some people think that he's the best player in baseball. And then Jack's really hot right now. So this would not mean anything if those two guys weren't hobby darlings right now.
Sure.
So.
Yep.
Well, if you're wanting to pull an inscription, here could be your chance. Josh, what is coming to the shop this week?
Oh, great segue. You're getting good at this. So this is a big week for Grand Slam. So here it is. Today is Donruss Racing. You might have seen the post on Facebook and Instagram, but 2025 Donruss Racing, their hobby boxes are kind of unique this year. They're sized like mega boxes. So when we opened them up, I was like, wait a second, are these megas or are these hobbies? But they are hobby boxes, just new packaging. That's today. So Friday is the big day. We have a product we should probably talk about at some point, Leaf Multisport Pearl, Leaf Pearl Multisport. We have a case of that coming, which is just 2 boxes. But let me tell you, each box you have 1 rare cut auto, at least 2 multi-signed autos, 1 to 2 massive 6 or 8 signature cards, and all Pearl base cards are 1 of 1 and fall 1 per box. So 11 cards, you're getting a cut auto, 2 multi-autos, 6 or 8, 1 to 2, 6 to 8 multi-auto cards, and 1 of 1 Pearl base cards. That arrives Friday for launch. It says for the first ever time they'll have autographs of Mahomes and Barkley in the product. So not cheap. Like Andrew just said, their highest end product, he does believe. I believe you are correct. So that would be fun, whoever decides to open those.
It's a beautiful product. I've seen this in hand. The first time I saw it unopened in boxes and cases was when I went to the National with you, and some dealers had boxes of this. But at some point I had a Magic Johnson auto out of Pearl. It's a gorgeous product.
Yeah, I just watched Leaf open them on Whatnot, so I didn't have to spend any money.
We had one of my customer friends bought one that we had a few years back. I feel like it was a Leaf Pearl soccer box.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like Pele 1 of 1
Yeah.
and like huge stuff
Big.
out. It was, I want to say like $2,500 a box or something like that. But it was, he made money on it. I think eventually those cards did really well. So well, hopefully if someone opens it in the shop, I will probably record it. Maybe we can watch it on the podcast. And then an even bigger deal is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Black Bolt, and what's White Flare. That product comes out tomorrow. For the first time in a long time, we have not taken any pre-orders for this product, and so it will kind of be first come, first serve. We expect a long line and some early risers probably getting in line for that. We will limit like 1 SKU per person to spread the love as much as possible.
And you said tomorrow. You said tomorrow. This is not a Friday release. You said tomorrow.
I'm an idiot. It is Friday.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. I have. It is Friday the 18th. That's when it releases. Thank you for clearing that up. Otherwise, we'd have a weird line tomorrow, and they would be disappointed when the alarm goes off outside. Yeah, that's going to be a big deal. This is a subset, FYI. So if you're not familiar with Pokemon, this is a subset. This will not have booster boxes. It will not have individual sleeved packs of this product. The only products they make are the binder collection boxes, the Elite Trainer boxes, the poster collection boxes, the mini tins, and the booster bundles. I'm trying to look at the list. Booster bundles should also. The booster bundles, I think, release later, though, I think. Anthony says you are not an idiot. You are handsome. Anthony, please ban yourself from this podcast, please. And just when you think Friday couldn't get any busier, Topps Chrome is next week. I'm an idiot. I am an idiot, Anthony. I thought Friday was Topps Chrome as well. That's next week. So, yes, tomorrow is Leaf Pearl. Today is Donruss Racing, and not tomorrow, Friday. I give up. Next segment.
Well, if you pull some nice cards in the shop, here's what you have to do with them next.
Great.
Are you looking to get your cards graded? Well, here at Grand Slam, we've simplified the process of submitting and getting a card graded. All you have to do is drop off your cards and kick your feet up, while our transparent tracking ensures that you are up to date with every detail along the way. When you log into our website, you'll immediately be greeted with each card in the grading process, along with where it's at in the process and its final grade. And with over 1,000 submissions and some of the top cards across the country being submitted through us, we have become a well-trusted source to handle and submit your cards. So you can do more collecting and leave the chore of grading to us. So don't sit on grading your cards. Get them submitted today at Grand Slam, where grading's made easy.
I do have to apologize to Anthony. He is right. I am handsome. But speaking of grading, I can't give too much information out yet, but we will soon be a submitter for Beckett, and they've got some cool things coming, some big changes coming. I actually had dinner with one of their executive vice presidents of sales last night. We talked about some Beckett moves. Stay tuned. Beckett's pointed in the right direction. I think it's going to be good. We want to be a subber for Beckett. It's just been a bad experience when we started, and so they've cleaned up a lot of things. We can talk more about it in the future, but stay tuned.
Well, also speaking of grading, a graded UFC card set the all-time UFC sale record. We have I honestly don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. Topuria, sure. It sold for $101,000. I believe it was this past week.
Ilia.
Sounds good to me. This is crazy. I don't follow the UFC market. I know you and I are both wrestling fans. Do you keep up with UFC much at all?
I don't at all, really. I guess I'm not surprised that a black finite rookie of someone that's probably a really big up and coming star in that sport would sell for that. So that doesn't totally surprise me, but again,
does it surprise you that it's not like somebody that's been established has set that? Like, I wonder what the previous record was. It doesn't say on here.
Yeah, you got to think too. I mean, it's rookie, so the rookies are going to go. The established guys aren't going to have these brand new rookies. So while they do have rookies out there, they might not even have one-on-ones or anything. But you also got to think there's a lot of big, deep-pocketed celebrities and entertainers and athletes that are in this hobby now. And so that's just not a lot of money for one of them. And they get the claim to say they own that card and I own the most expensive UFC card ever sell. And, 101 grand just probably is like $100 to some of these guys. So it's not a huge deal.
Well, also you said there's so many like big players in card collecting now, but the UFC hub is in Vegas. So like you already know what kind of money is sitting in Las Vegas. It could be somebody that's not even collecting cards, They could be laundering money through it. Who knows? And they're like, we need this thing to sell for a lot. And it did. But that's not even our only UFC story of the day. I believe it was Dana White showed off his card collection.
I saw this actually, yeah.
Let's see. It says there's a new card. Kingpin Dana White shares his 7-figure card collection. I was kind of scared to play a video with Dana White. I did not watch this one beforehand.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad. The comment there, absolute horrendous camera work, and they're not lying.
What do you think about his display?
I really like it. It's pretty sweet.
I mean, if you got heavy hitters, you might as well add another layer of protection to them. There's your boy Brady.
Yeah, he's got the refractor there. That's worth a ton. Jordan rookie. Well, they asked him at the end what those cards are worth. Didn't he say over $1 million?
I did not watch this one ahead of time.
Yeah, I think at the very end they're like, so what are all these these guys looking at him? Don't know anything about cards. They're like, man, what are these cards worth? And he said over $1 million.
And I didn't even notice that. Go ahead.
I think a couple on the bottom are like, you can tell it's really cool because he's got, I want to say Puka Nakua on the bottom. Like, so he must be a big Puka fan, which
I
is
saw
kind
a gold kaboom down there at the bottom.
Yeah, I think I want to say that was Puka's maybe, but it was kind of an athlete where you're like, oh, I mean, I wouldn't expect someone who's got all the money in the world that would be one of his Grail cards, but I liked that. You can tell he's got a bunch of the big hitting cards, but he also has some ones that are, don't get me wrong, really expensive. I'll be able to see it here in a second when they go back down to the bottom, but Tiger, Kobe, Jordan, yeah, Puka. He's got Pukas at the bottom. So.
And in the description, it says has a PSA 10 Michael Jordan Fleer rookie, a PSA 10 Tom Brady Bowman Chrome Refractor rookie, PSA 10 Tiger Woods rookie autograph, and a rare Kobe Bryant on card autograph. That's just highlights.
I think those are the big ones, and then he's got some cool stuff. What happens when you need to add to that? What happens when you pick up 2 more good ones and you've already got this display built into your wall? Do you just take 2 of them off?
Pretty sure Dana could knock or make a new wall in the house or knock a wall down, whatever he has to do.
Yeah. So that lends to like that UFC card selling for $100,000. It's kind of like, yeah, there's guys in this hobby that it's just not that much money to. And so.
Right. Well, I don't know really, like I said, that much about the UFC. I know it's a big money brand, but then their merger with WWE under TKO, everything just blossomed, it seemed like. Everything's more expensive, so you kind of have to have the money to be in it now.
Yeah, there's something for everyone. High-end cards like that and low-end cards for you and I.
Now, Michael shared this next story about hobby winners versus losers, and then he shared this link with Zion on the cover. It said, you won't believe how much these cards are down since 2021. Because that was a pretty hot time.
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it for sure.
All right, let's take a look at a few of these. PSA 10 Zion Silver Prism Rookie was going for $3,400. Now it goes for about $190. Josh, are you buying any of these?
No. Is this the card $3,400? Okay, so the Zion.
That's the 2021 price, or that this is 2024 price, and then the 2025 price there.
That can't be that. That can't be right. Within a year they've gone that down. All right, go to the next one. Let's see.
18.
I mean, I can believe that. You know, he really hasn't performed like the game changer they thought he would be.
And they're basically comparing these year to date. Well, it says year to date, but then it also says tag someone who paid these insane prices 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I'll let you.
We'll keep an open mind that these could be during COVID pricing. Regardless, here's what they're worth now, and
right.
Let's see. Is there another one? Is there just a few?
Yes, there's another one after this one.
Yeah, I mean, Russell, not only has the hobby gone down from that time, but Russell has really struggled.
$50 for a Prism rookie of Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And then Deshaun Watson Contenders autograph.
Again, we could do the same with Wander Franco, for instance. Like his stuff has just gone to the toilet, and it was pretty valuable. But Deshaun, I remember in 2017, not only Mahomes but Trubisky and Deshaun Watson and a couple others were really big quarterback chasers. And Watson went to Clemson, so he was like really popular around here. We sold his cards really, really well before his struggles, his injuries, and his controversy.
Speaking of controversy, if you are really feeling risky, Best Buy is now taking PSA submissions. Now, we all had a lot to say whenever GameStop was doing it, and honestly, the reviews seem to be pretty mixed. Wouldn't you say about 50-50?
Sure, yeah.
Now you got Best Buy doing it, which is famously in the last couple of years gotten rid of all their digital media, and is now, I don't even know what they're doing. I don't go to Best Buy anymore. But let's watch this video from Filth Bomb Breaks.
Very few people had this on their bingo card for 2025. Best Buy is officially going to help you submit cards with PSA. And all it's going to cost you is $100. You can now buy an Ultra Pro official PSA grading submission kit at Best Buy. Cost is $99.99. Enhance your collection. Comes with 4 PSA graded card stands, 20 easy grip card sleeves, 20 semi-rigid card holder, 4 Ultra Pro PSA card protector, 1 microfiber cloth, some shipping materials, and 4 $25 PSA grading credits. How do we feel about this PSA grading submission kit for $100? How do we feel that Best Buy is carrying them? Let me know in the comment section.
All right. So it's different than I thought. I thought it was they were going to actually do the submissions for you, which I thought was like, holy cow, that's just not a good idea for them. But I mean, seems like a really cool product. If you submit your own cards, I got nothing wrong with it. I think it's kind of a cool idea because you do need a lot of those things for submitting. I would still argue it's too much work. Find a card shop, a local card shop you trust that grades them, i.e. Grand Slam. If you're down in the Columbia area, Palmetto and Lexington, let us do it for you. And you don't need a kit. You don't need anything. You just drop off the cards. Let us do the work for you. But I like a kit idea. I'm down with a kit. It's just a little unusual for Best Buy, but they do sell a lot of cards. And with a lot of TCG stuff being graded, they sell a lot of.
It basically seems like you're buying a PSA gift card and you're getting supplies to go with it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have those sleeves and those semi-rigids and stuff to submit them. Do you need the card stands? I think that's just like, hey, I'm excited to get the cards back. We'll put them on the stands, but
right.
I don't know. They'll probably sell some of it, but again, go to a local card shop. I know I'm biased, but.
Now, Josh, how familiar are you with Bo Nix's slab grade or pricing?
Semi.
Michael felt it was enough to bring up and do some comparing. Let's between the different grading companies, the grades, stuff we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I was going to say to piggyback off what I said about Beckett earlier, see what they're comparing a PSA 10, an SGC 10, and a Beckett 9.5. So some would say you compare this to a Beckett 10, all of a sudden they're right there, if not better than PSA. So stay tuned. But yeah, I like the fact that, I mean, this is what you expect. What, $1,600 for a PSA 10, $1,000 for an SGC 10, and almost $1,000 for a Beckett 9.5. So,
and like we've talked about before, Beckett just doesn't really hand out 10s. They seem to be pretty strict with stuff.
Yeah, you've got the Beckett 10, and then you've got the Beckett Black Label. Okay. I don't know what I can say from dinner last night, but
was your dinner good with them?
It was good. Yeah, we my thought is, and we've talked about this on the podcast, it's like until one of these other companies, until their 10s can sell close to a PSA 10, I mean, people don't like PSA. The amount of people that don't like PSA is huge. And so like the opportunity is there. The hobby is hungry for another company to be the grading standard, but for some reason they just won't get on board. And I think Beckett might have an opportunity to do that because they have the name. What does PSA have over these people? It's like they're way more inconsistent. Their slabs don't look as good. They damage cards. Their wait time is super long. I just don't get it.
Well, it seems like people say like Beckett's known for not handing out 10s. We've heard that SGC is pretty hard to get a 10 with. But PSA, it's the way it seems. It depends on how that person wakes up that day. And you could send in a card, get a 7 this week. You send it back in, you get a 9 or 10 the next week. It's like, well, what's the difference here? Like, there's no real consistency.
Well, when you get subgrades like Beckett gives, you can see, man, it's not a 10 because there is something a little bit wrong with it. And so, again, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to get anyone in trouble. But they've got some really cool changes coming that I think will really help them gain back some of that market share.
The subgrades have always been a real selling point to me. Then it kind of, like, they don't tell you point blank what is wrong. Here's a dent right here, but it's like, okay, I guess the corners, I could see where there could be something messed up.
Sure. Or if it's all good except for surface, then you know, okay, I'm looking at the surface. What did I miss?
Exactly.
PSA, it's just like they're just blindly throwing darts at a dartboard. It's weird. I don't get it.
Well, we're going to compare a couple Michael Jordan rookies with a PSA 10 and then a what is it? SGC?
Yeah.
Gold Label 10. Wow. Is this a current like auction, Michael?
I believe so. And I was shocked. I was shocked that gap is closing. But again, you guys just touched on it. Sorry, I had to take a call, and I'm going to have to jump here in a second. But shocked that it's this close. But that it's that gold label. It's that rare of rare as far as conditioning is concerned.
And I know people like the black SGC look. I do as well. Their labels are horrendously outdated and ugly. And PSAs are nothing special. They're just that Apple iPhone standard of you know what it is from across the room. But I think Beckett again has a shot to gain some ground on their slabs being better looking too here soon. So
I don't know like if they would release these numbers or not, but I would like to know the like difference between the SGC 10s and the SGC Gold labels. I'd like to know the percentage. Same thing with the Beckett 10 and the Beckett Black label. I think we talked about it maybe before with the Beckett labels, but I would like to know like how rare it actually is.
And I promise I'm not biased just because I ate dinner with them, but
You've been critical of PSA for years now.
Yeah, but the Beckett, I'm pumping Beckett hard though. Their Black label too looks way better than both of these.
Yes,
and I mean that's not just my opinion. It's just fact. Just looks so much better. So,
well, the Gold label is just like a little bit of trim. It seems like on SGC.
Yeah, and I like that touch, but it just still looks kind of a lot of empty space, and just I don't know, it just looks old and boring. But
and I guess like because it's like a little foil trim around it. I guess you could say like, oh, it would catch somebody's eye if the light's hitting it at a show. But then again, these are in acrylic cases pretty much in the first place, so the light's already hitting them.
Yeah, and I'm just saying like the gold foil is a great touch. I like it a lot. If it was a more modern looking label with gold on it as well that would do it. I mean, it just surprises me that they don't have better looking labels. And you don't want to, even PSA could like change their label and keep with the red border and keep with some of the coloring to where from across the room it still is noticeable to be a PSA card, but just modernize it a little bit. And they probably will at some point.
They could change that red to like a blue or something, their other color. If it's like a premium, you know what I mean? Like it's something as simple as that they could do.
Yeah, or even as simple as just like rounding the label edges or the inside white label part, just rounding it out and just giving it a little bit of a modern look. But
right.
Absolutely. What do we know?
Not much, apparently. Speaking of not knowing things too much, Michael shared this one as well. It's a soccer card. And I don't know anything about soccer. Josh, is there anything?
So that's Lamine Yamal. He's a big young stud in the soccer world, but that's actually pretty cool. They used a piece of the actual net in that 1-of-1. Kudos. I like it.
Has this been done before, to your knowledge?
Not to my knowledge, but, other than, you get pieces of the base and pieces of the glove and things like that.
Right.
Other pylon pieces in football cards, pieces of the pylon, but
this is a pretty big sell for a soccer card.
I mean, he's like the young, big up-and-comer.
Interesting. Then we have, what was it, Fanatics using their power to grant some Make-A-Wishes. Got a few slides to look through here. It says this trading card is an all-star game invite.
Very cool. I like it.
What are those?
Oh, that's cool. It's cards.
Oh, it's of you. Cool. That's cool. Okay.
You're just listening. We're watching a video of the Make-A-Wish kids opening up their cards with their invites.
Make-A-Wish and MLB. Going to the MLB All-Star Weekend.
Going to MLB All-Star Weekend.
That's pretty cool. Fanatics has been doing some really cool stuff like this since they kind of came to the forefront.
I mean, they kind of have to. John Cena is a bad guy now, so like they need to.
I'd like to know his Make-A-Wish number because he's like the record holder for it. I'd like to know his wish numbers this year.
Yeah, I mean, in all reality, he's probably still doing them.
Oh yeah.
I want to. Yeah, that's cool. Good idea, Fanatics, and make those kids' dreams come true. I'm going to go through a couple comments real quick. Andrew says the problem with these rookie card logos, referring to the UFC card, just because it's their first card. He's been fighting in the UFC for 5 years. So, yeah, you can see both sides of that. He's really not a rookie, but it is his rookie card. So that's why it's got the logo. Anthony said it was actually a good deal for $100. Can't remember what that was to.
The PSA at Best Buy.
Oh, yeah. Fair deal. Michael was on the phone negotiating with another podcast. He wishes. And Andrew asked if it was dinner only or did we buy you a drink? I don't drink. I had 3 Cokes and a beautiful pork chop with mashed potatoes. It was really good at a nice restaurant. There was a couple of the other guys there, but Andrew, I don't drink.
I liked Anthony's comment earlier. He said, was he impressed with Sonny's barbecue?
We love Sonny's barbecue at this. My son worked there, and a lot of their managers in here all the time. But no, we did not. We went up to Valentine. So,
well, Josh, since Michael has had to dip out to get back to work, let's talk a little wrestling for a second here. Since we talked about inscriptions earlier, we can kind of have some fun. Kevin Owens is making the rounds again with more inscriptions, I believe, on his Chrome cards. These are just
Kevin. Don't overdo it, Kevin.
This is the Cactus Jack cards that are coming out. This is the 2 of 10.
Kurt Angle sneezed on me once.
They're all random. This is 4 of 5. I own many pink shoes.
The color of the card's pink is where that came from, I'm sure.
What do you think of the Cactus Jack card design?
Looks pretty sweet.
Then 1 of 1. You're special enough. Nothing funny for you.
Yeah. I like those. I like those inscriptions. I just we got to be careful not to.
Like he did a lot of them when the Chrome product first came out at the beginning of the year. It's like, don't approach me in an airport and stuff like that. It was pretty funny.
It does kind of match his personality. He's kind of that way on the show as well. Is he injured? Yeah. Oh yeah, he was injured.
Yeah, neck surgery. He did an interview actually a couple weeks ago, I believe, and he hasn't been able to have surgery on his neck yet, despite being out since like March or April. Because they're waiting for it to heal a certain amount before they even have surgery. So he must have been pretty messed up.
Yeah. Sorry for those that don't like wrestling. I got to ask Jacob this really fast. Did you watch the Saturday night's main event?
Yes.
Did you see Seth Rollins? So you saw Seth Rollins got injured. Seth Rollins got injured. Was probably supposed to win that match actually, and they just changed it to.
So it seems like people are thinking he did it on like the moonsault backflip type thing, but it appears he did it on the swanton front flip.
So here's the rumor I've heard. If you heard it on the swanton, then how did he have the ability to pull the moonsault or vice versa, whichever one it was? That's conspiracy theory number 1. Conspiracy theory number 2 is that they were maybe thinking that everyone knew he was cashing in at SummerSlam, and so they pulled this fake injury to make you think he's out of the picture, so it's a bigger pop when he does. Just a theory. The other thing is, usually by now we've heard it's ACL, MCL. He's going to be gone for 6 to 8, 9 months or whatever. Haven't really heard anything yet. WWE's been strangely vague on it. So that's my thought. Could be fake.
Couple more things. Somebody took pictures of him backstage on crutches, which is fine. Adrenaline could have been pushing him because didn't you like run into a wall playing basketball at church and kept going?
Yeah,
could be that. And then I've seen that when it happened, he started overselling it. Which if you're in pain, I don't know how much you really had to oversell. But anyway, he started overselling it to have that whole thing, and then Heyman came out saying he's got this briefcase up until June of next year. But the guy has a history of knee injuries, so anytime something looks remotely bad, that's where people's mind immediately goes to.
Yeah. Well, I hope for his sake that it is fake and that it's part of the story and that he is not legitimately hurt. But
would hate to have Rollins and Owens down at the same time.
Yeah.
And then our last story is a quick one about baseball. We'll count this as Michael's stat of the week, I guess, since he's no longer here to speak for himself.
Okay.
Pete Crow Armstrong. What do you know about him, Michael or Josh?
Well, I know a lot about him. I watch every Cub game, so
All right. Are you familiar with this stat?
I was not aware of this stat. I mean, I
Why
was
don't
aware of his stats and that
don't
they
you
were
read
very
this for us?
strong. I didn't realize the only player in history with 25 home runs, 25 stolen bases, and 70 RBIs before the All-Star break. That's pretty awesome. Andrew in the chat is a big Cubs fan as well. The problem is if you double those stats, and that would be his stats for the year, he's a 50-50 guy because we're halfway through the season at the All-Star break, which would be huge. But I think we're more than halfway because I think the All-Star break was more than halfway. Andrew, help me out on this. But, yeah, that would be crazy. And even if we are, if he gets a little bit hotter in the second half, which the weather warms up even more and the bats are more active, it'd be really cool if he could do the old Ohtani 50-50, which would be pretty crazy.
My one takeaway from this is that's a lot of last name for a back of a jersey.
Yeah, Crow Armstrong. And he doesn't look like he's really fast. He doesn't look overly powerful. So to have 25 home runs at the break is pretty awesome. So that would be awesome. Steal a little bit of Ohtani's thunder and go 50-50 this year.
That would be pretty insane.
That
Josh,
means,
do you have any hits from the shop?
No, I will say on a follow-up from the Dana White Puka Nakua segment we did earlier, one of my customers that's watching said the reason Dana has Puka cards is because Dana's kid went to school and played sports with Puka. So he was always over at Dana's house. So there you go. That's kind of cool. He was able to chase down a couple big Puka cards.
That's actually pretty cool.
That's the connection there. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I pulled up a couple of Mosaic basketball hits that you posted on the Instagram if you want me to show those.
Yeah, so Mosaic basketball is loaded up this year because they're running out of time for their other products. So they've worked in a bunch of other case hit inserts and autographs from other products into this Mosaic product. So here's a few. Jacob will show you while I hunt down my stat because I think I did have
like a Wemby stained glass.
Wemby stained glass. It's not rookie, it's second year, but still a big one.
And a honeycomb LaMelo ball.
LaMelo honeycomb.
Are you showing off? Did you do this to show off your Brady planets in the back?
No, but
I think you did.
I have the ones I have here. I'm going to show everyone, and then
I'll do a razzle dazzle and a Banchero autograph.
Yeah, that's numbered to 25 that's out of Contenders Optic, and it was in Mosaic products. So they're like pushing these hits into Mosaic, juicing it up so they can get rid of them before their licensing runs out. So
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Y'all remember I am chasing down the Tom Brady Planetary Pursuit. They do the sun and then they do all the planets. The further you get from the sun, the more expensive and the more rare and harder they are to find. I got the sun. We've got Mercury. I've got Venus. I've got Earth. And when I go to the National in a couple weeks, I'm going to try and hunt down some more there and see if I can get a good deal.
Those look really good lined up.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do some sort of a cool display with them, maybe a custom display or something. Are you ready for my stat? Because I did have a couple, actually. Fun fact, this isn't a stat. The Pirates have a rookie. His name is Iverson Allen, not Allen Iverson. Fun fact. And Steve Kerr is the only player in NBA history to four-peat. He did it in 96 with the Bulls, 97 with the Bulls. We know they three-peated. 98 with the Bulls. And then in 99, he was on the Spurs when they won. And he's the first person to four-peat.
Looks
And
like
then
the
my
happiest man alive.
my last stat is it says the Pirates still have 3 more National League East championships than the Mets. The earliest the Mets could pass the Braves in National League East titles would be the year 2034. No Braves are under contract that long, but Bobby Bonilla is. So we always laugh about Bobby Bonilla, but he is going to still be under contract that long. And that, my friends, is the stat of the week, brought to you by the Talking Shop podcast
And Panda Express.
and Panda Express, and no Michael. Michael, we miss you. Come back next week.
Well, I appreciate everybody joining us on this Wednesday afternoon. We should be back to our Monday schedule next week. And we had all of us had a pretty hectic weekend leading into the work week. So that's why we're doing it on Wednesday. But Josh, any closing statements?
Nope. Go check out those breaks. Come see us at the shop, and y'all have a good night.
All right, later.
Peace.